together and worked on this play to come over and present it to Buenos Sports and Girls. So this is a very special treat. They worked very hard. I got to see most of it yesterday, and it was fabulous. So I'm counting on y'all to be the very best audience. Yesterday's audience was pretty good, and they had to sit and wait for a while because I had my time messed up on the building. So they had to wait for a while, and they were still a fabulous audience. So I need you all on your bottoms, hands in your lap. You're in for a great treat. So I'm going to turn it over to the students. And so are y'all ready? Just sit quietly. That shows me you're ready. Here we go.
Okay, this is our holiday presentation of the best Christmas pageant ever, and it's written by Barbara Roberts. The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and cussed their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool house. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. They went to Joe Wilson School like those South American fish who stick their bones free. They went around town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, and whamming kids. So it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmans there. And Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little sister, Charlie. That's what she said when the Sunday school teacher asked what was her favorite thing about church. Charlie said,
No herdmans.
that made the teacher mad, because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth. No herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. It's what they really thought. All that other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is that the herdmans aren't there. Ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because she had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one? Leroy?
They're all the worst ones.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph
That
gets here,
doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's mean, she's fast, and she fights.
Why don't you just stay away from all of them?
That's what I said. Stay away from it. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I feel sitting there on Christmas Eve with my own children not in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I wasn't even planning on going. Well, you know how it always is. They could use my seat. I was just going to stay home with my bathrobe and relax. There's nothing different about the Christmas pageant anyway.
There's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to be wearing your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph all the time just because his father's a minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
Well, what were you in the Christmas pageant last year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, I can't Charlie here being named. What?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard, that's not a serious drawback. Oh, wait, an angel, it sounded to me like a closet full of mice.
What are you wearing this for?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. Bathrobe or bed sheets? Come on, select.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience. Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things. They're right, of course. She directs the pageant. She's in charge of the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
I saw him at the drugstore just earlier today. He said his wife broke her leg this morning and would be attraction for 2 weeks laid up to the first of the year.
The first of the year? Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas.
Well, she's in charge of the pageant, and she's in charge of the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to take care of all of this?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar and have she'll do the potluck supper. Oh, I don't want the role to do
entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully, because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph, and how about it was God's choice to be Jesus' father. Frank, trash. How could she talk on the phone? Trash.
What do you think trash is?
Like when they put you to sleep. And I tell them there are no small parts, only small actors.
Beth, give me some salt and peppers and that, please.
Don't let them wear anything like that. And don't let them wear high heels or funky shoes. I just hope you don't have too many baby angel tricks. They're always your biggest problem. You're gonna have to get somebody to push the baby angels on stage. Why would you do that? Leroy Herdman. He got lunch, man. Shut up.
I'm gonna do that to you, Dad.
Oh, when I stop down to the breakfast, where's the chicken? Just because you're in a fight.
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
Okay, remind them not to do that. You might have to take the Kleenex boxes and other things in case it's that.
I have to go, Helen. There's someone at my door. I'll talk to you later.
But Grace,
Yes, I'm coming.
Did you give me some supper, lady? I've had a square meal in 3 days.
For heaven's sake, it's you.
You lonely here at the dinner table.
Well, I guess Helen feels lonely at the hospital.
But not as long as the telephones still work.
I'll bet you told you that. No small parts, small acts.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and make the shepherd shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean that I have to go?
And Grace, don't use anybody's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two if you can. That way, if one turns out to be cranky, you can always switch.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think of problems. And there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, Mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy! You give me back my lunch!
Here, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again!
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
Well, what was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy! You think it's so great to steal my dessert every day? And you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah. What kind of dessert?
All kinds. Chocolate cake and candy bars and cookies and Twinkies and big wheels. We get refreshments all the time, all we want.
You're a liar.
And cupcakes and donuts and ice cream.
Who gives it to you?
The minister.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school. Just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant. What's a pageant?
It's like a play.
Like on TV, what's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
Well, I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Come on, Dad. Charlie, you and Danielle come. Now, this won't take very long if you're all settled down. Today we're going to decide who will play the main part in our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Miss Armstrong always says, there are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Miss Armstrong always tells you?
That's just what it says. It's never says what it means.
Don't you know what that means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be on the front of the stage. No one else can see them.
Well, not exactly. What it really means is that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
This is something I don't think anybody is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
Oh, what? Children, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kid. Now, is everyone
I see. Well, will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
Oh, what if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Eleanor.
But Beverly got sick and they haven't even started yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, I want you all to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind. And the girl who plays Mary, she tried to be that kind of person. Who would like to volunteer for that part? Did you have a question, Imogene?
No. I would be Mary. Ralph, he wants to joke.
Oh, well, I'll just make a list of volunteers for these parts, and then we'll decide who it will be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Just raise your hands, please. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I put on my list? Janet. Roberta. Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary. Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You'd be a wife.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. Of course, they don't have to be.
I'll be a wise man.
Oh, look at me too. I want to be wise man. You want to be wise man? Raise your hand. What's a wise man?
Raise your hand.
What's left to be? Some angel. I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord that brought the good news to the shepherds. Oh, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Holly, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just wanted to say I can't be a shepherd because we're going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
Remember? My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Why, Gladys, are you going to hit anyone? The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them Jesus is born.
And handsome.
Oh, we're not ridiculous. I'm going to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now that's all for today, boys and girls, and you may go. But I expect to see everyone here at 6:30 on Wednesday. Alice, what's the matter with you? Why is all these raise your hand?
I don't know. You gotta talk.
You don't know? Alice, I expect you to volunteer. Don't you want to be married?
Oh, come on, Alice.
I don't know. I didn't dare raise my hand, and she and Herdman would have killed me. She said, if you raise your hand or open your mouth, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always married to pussy willows. And she said, well, fine, go ahead. But next spring, when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick one so far down your ear, it'll get stuck. And it'll grow, and you'll live the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. The Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll find something terrible to ruin the whole misconduct, and it's all your mother's fault. Jane, Edna McCall, did you hear about it? Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would 6 of them end up in a Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail? Vera or Miss Slocum? I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be married in the Christmas pageant, and is that a fact, all 6 of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit. I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Is Grace gone crazy? Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman?
What kind of child is that to be married, mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know. He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut in, and he wasn't visiting me.
I said, why don't you let them hand out programs at the door? Grace said we never had programs for the pageant, but I said it's better nail down the church and lock up the silver service. And hide the collection plates before they clean that house. What was the matter with Grace?
Couldn't she have sent them home? Told them to go away? Oh, I feel responsible. responsible. If I had been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me, I'm on your side.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind just to do the best I could under the circumstances. And now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and no one else did. And I don't care if they do.
Good for you, Grace.
And you're going to help me.
What?
You have to go. All right, everyone. The inn is off over here, off stage, and the shepherds come in and gather around the manger. Where do the shepherds come from anyway?
What's an inn?
It's like a hotel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus? Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph lived there.
Why?
Hey, Pat.
At a hotel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody, shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning.
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this pageant is, so I better read it to you.
I don't believe that to you. You never heard the Christmas story?
Well, why not? They don't even know what a Bible is. And they've never been to church in their whole life until your dumb sister told them we got a freshman. Now they have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All right, we all know that Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
Well, I don't think it's very nice to say she was pregnant. It's better to say she's pregnant with a child. I'm not allowed to talk about people who are pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, no one knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't know? We're pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in your underwear.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
No, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it and wouldn't get out. You didn't like Gladys, did you? God.
That was pretty smart, Ollie, not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
Wadded up clothes.
The what?
It said in there, she wrapped him in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly and use material to make them feel cozy.
They tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare? The child
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
Anyway, and there came shepherds, and there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them.
Shazam! And the black night with horrible vengeance, mighty marvel!
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys. The mighty marvel of nature college.
And the black night with horrible
This is
vengeance.
the angel of the Lord that brought good news to the shepherd.
I didn't know her, right? In the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
And when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oil.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare wise men? They were kings, and they were sent by...
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. They're kings. They can tell the innkeeper to get off and get that baby out of the barn.
They were sent by Herod, and well, he was the main king. He wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he just got born. They're gonna kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby and isn't even in the play.
Well, somebody could care.
But Charlie be Herod.
Yeah! Okay, but he's king and all.
They go back and get Herod.
Oh, that's gonna be here.
No one is going to be Herod.
No, Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod.
Take the shepherds away.
They said there wasn't any room, and I just threw somebody out. I told them I got this baby in the middle of winter, so either get out or move over.
Yeah, I'll go after old Harry.
Amy's laughing, right? She points her finger at him and zaps and pile out.
Hey! What's the name of this play? She never said. Christmas pageant. That's no name, that's what it is.
Hey, I know a name. I'd call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Herdman thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on and not the baby Jesus. Baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Deacon Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby Jesus. And that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch up a baby, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdman. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. And they steal, too. If you shake the birthday cake, it doesn't make any noise because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go into the ladies' room, the whole air is full of thick smoke. And there sits Imogene Herdman in the Mary costume smoking a cigar.
And you wrote this all down? What for?
For my mother and the Ladies' Aid Society and Reverend Hopkins and anybody else who wants to know what happened when the whole house turns out to be a big mess.
All right, everyone, let's get quiet. Now, this is our last rehearsal, so we're going.
I just wanted to tell you we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you, I guess, Mrs. Wilson. Dress rehearsal?
Well, it's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a new baby a month or so ago? A little girl.
Yes, she's 5 weeks old.
Well, I wonder how it would be if I were to call your niece and ask her if we could borrow it.
No. I could make up some lie and tell you the baby's sick or pregnant or something. But the truth is she's perfectly happy and healthy, and we all want her to stay that way. So we're certainly not going to hand her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace. Mrs. Bradley, you can have my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby.
He's not new. He's 4 years old. But he's double jointed and he can probably stretch out.
Well, I don't think
I'll give us a baby.
How can you do that?
There's always 2 or 3 babies sitting around in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll get one of them.
Imogene, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. I guess we'll forget about a baby. We'll just use the doll.
Yeah, it's better anyway. Dog can't bite.
And Imogene, you know Mary wouldn't have her ears pierced.
Well, I just got my ears pierced.
Gladys pierced them. She probably did it with an ice pick. I bet her ears turned black and fall off.
Well, we'll find something small. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you're going to wear? You know, you're all supposed to be in costume.
I don't have a costume. I've never been a shepherd before. You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to do. He hasn't got a bathrobe. What does he lay around the house in? His underwear.
All right, pretend you're wearing a costume. Let's pretend.
Are we going to do a whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first we're going to practice just the entrances. So everyone go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherd. walk up and say, name of Jesus? Yes.
I know what the angel said. He said his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace.
My God! He never did that first grade and he had to write all that.
The only one they had was in the kitchen. All the applesauce papers were done. Of course, all the ladies were mad about that. Mrs. McCarthy was mad. My mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
It was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room of the church was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look, the church is full of firemen, and the street is full of baby angels crying, and shepherds running all